body has 10x my results with women. It's 10x my life in general, guys. Building a better physique is one of the best things you can do just to enhance your life in general. You want to walk into a place and have people respect you inherently. They don't even know why they respect you. It's subconscious in their mind. This is something that building a better physique will allow you to have. Working in general, leading a healthy lifestyle will give you an above average physique. But in order to maximize our looks, we're going to be doing something called training for aesthetics. Now you might be asking, what is an aesthetic body? What's an aesthetic physique, Connor? Well, aesthetic loosely translates to beauty. So if you have an aesthetic physique, you have a beautiful body. Maybe not the most masculine sounding thing. In fact, caring about your looks is just not that masculine. But like I said, you kind of need to be conscious of the fact that you get judged on your looks all the time, and the better you look, easier your life is going to be. I'm not saying I was ugly as a kid, but definitely like between ages like 18 to 19 versus, 20 to 21. I'm 21 right now. Just improving my physique, improving my hair, improving my skin. Yeah, I definitely notice a difference. I definitely notice people treat me better. If you want to be treated better, this is a good place to start. You don't even have to do anything. People will just give you more respect. They'll let you fucking fuck their wives, guys. There's actually something called the halo effect, and what that is pretty much like the more attractive you are, the more like trustworthy you are. So you're just seen as like a better person for no reason at all, right? So if you see, a gorgeous, good-looking girl on the street, you're probably just gonna assume, oh, that's like a pretty nice girl or whatever. She could be the worst person in the world. You wouldn't inherently think that. Whereas you see some big, kind of mean mugging, ugly motorbike dude with like a spiky mohawk. He has like fucking pubes all over his face. You're not expecting him to come up to you and be like, hey, do you wanna join our church group? So that begs the question, what makes a physique aesthetic? The answer is ratios, right? So it's not necessarily how much size you have, it's about how the muscle you have looks on your body. Now, obviously, some people have better genetics than others when it comes to insertions, muscle bellies, and things of that nature. But there's a couple universal rules that apply to everyone. And even if you don't look like the peak genetic specimen, if you have good ratios, you're gonna look good. It doesn't matter how bad your genetics are. In addition to your shoulder to waist ratios, if you're wondering how big your legs should be or your arms should be, there's something called the Reckon Ideal Calculator, which I'll link down in the description below. It'll intake your wrist size, your ankle size. It'll basically calculate how big to get all your body parts to have that perfect symmetrical physique. A good example of someone with this physique is someone like Steve Reeves. Now, Steve Reeves has one of my favorite physiques of all time. Very aesthetic, handsome guy too. And he was natural because he was actually a bodybuilder before steroids were even invented, doing old school bodybuilding workouts with not a lot of scientific info. For any of you guys who are using the excuse of, oh,
I work out at home, I don't have that much equipment.
You don't need that much to build a good physique. You just need a bit of a work ethic. So I don't want to hear that as an excuse. So an example of this would be the shoulder to waist ratio. The shoulder to waist ratio is one of the most attractive traits. This was studied on women. Women deemed it to be one of the most desirable traits. So what is the ratio? It's when your shoulders are 1.6 times the size of your waist. You're gonna build a better shoulder to waist ratio, obviously by building your shoulder, and enhance your V-taper by training your back, your chest, your traps, things of that nature. Just getting yourself wide as fuck. And in addition, your body fat. So there's a range of ideal body fat because body fat looks different on everyone. We have different fat cells in different parts of our body. So 15% body fat on one person won't look like the same 15% body fat on another person. So the ideal range, I'd say, to maximize your face aesthetics, your abs, but not look too sucked down, would probably be 8 to 15%. Now I know that's a big range, but like I said, it looks different on everyone. So when we're talking about aesthetics in the female gaze, a lot of people are confused on what women are looking for. And obviously, like when I say women, that's very general. So not every woman is going to want the same thing. There is a large segment of the population that generally wants the same thing, and this has been studied in psychology. I'm about to share it with you, and you're going to have to understand that this information is very, very important and key here, so you're going to want to listen up. So we're about to dive into an excerpt of a psychology textbook, which I will cite in the description down below, written by American psychologist David Buss, one of the premier researchers when it comes to this kind of stuff. So what are women looking for? And I quote, heritable markers of health and fitness, signaling the presence of genes which have the resistance to diseases and other environmental insults. Physical symmetry is paramount, especially facial symmetry. In short-term mating, women place a huge premium on physical attractiveness. Women prefer men with masculine facial architecture, a pronounced jawline, and muscular. Obviously that means a lean, good body fat percentage, not fat. So everything's gonna be symmetrical when you build your body. You don't wanna have one pec way bigger than the other pec, that just looks weird. In addition, bringing balance and symmetry to your physique is very important. So you're not gonna be skipping leg day, okay? Just because you have a symmetrical upper body doesn't mean you're gonna be skipping leg day. You're gonna need to balance your physique out that is seen as aesthetic and attractive. It talks about your face, and you might be thinking, Connor, we're talking about working out and aesthetics. What does that have to do with your face? Well, I don't know what it is, but working out changes your face. My face looks a lot more masculine than it used to. That's my experience on it. But in addition to that, building up your neck and your traps is gonna make you look more masculine. So you really need to be working out to have that premier masculine frame that women clearly want. I'll give you an example. Jeremy Meeks, they photoshopped his neck in, and he looks way less masculine and way less attractive. Same thing with Channing Tatum. That's another good example. Thick neck versus thin neck. So ideally you want a pretty thick neck. I mean, I don't have the thickest neck in the world, but I'm working on it. These are things that enhance your masculinity, enhance your appearance, and ultimately enhance your aesthetics. So right now we have this kind of like action hero build. We're building our neck and our traps, and it's enhancing our face. Okay, we have symmetry, we have a good shoulder to waist ratio. We're literally looking like Miguel O'Hara, guys. And so you might be asking, Connor, where's the line? Do I want to look like Chris Bumstead? Do I want to look like Alex Eubank? Do I want to look like Cristiano Ronaldo? These are all people with different size physiques, but they all seem to have a decent amount of muscle. So how big do I get? So it's pretty difficult to determine that, because you're kind of balancing your own preference with the preference of another potential person. And I feel like ultimately, like if you have like this guideline and you follow it loosely and you don't veer too off course, you're gonna look really good. And it doesn't have to be too rigid. If your biceps are like 2 centimeters bigger than the golden like ratio, it's not gonna do anything. You're still gonna pull like mad hose. But if you need like a reference photo on like the perfect physique for the female gaze, we're gonna be looking at actors, okay? You have to understand with these Hollywood actors, obviously when they're on the big screen, a lot of planning goes into the scenes and how they look and how they want the viewer to react to the way they look. So those scenes with like an iconic like shirtless kind of Zac Efron kind of thing that like women are simping for. So once we know the look of these characters are designed with female psychology considered, and also the male gaze as well, they're trying to have the movies appeal to as many people as possible. We're gonna use them as our reference. I'm gonna give you 3 examples of actors and their physiques with this kind of optimization approach that the movie companies are implementing. All right, so Jason Momoa in Aquaman, he is 6'4", 220 pounds. Another example would be Henry Cavill. He's been jacked in many movies. He is 6'1", 205. Another example could be Mark Wahlberg, 5'8", 170 pounds. So I gave a list of different size guys like in height. So you can't use an excuse,
oh, I'm too tall, I'm too short, it doesn't matter.
Okay, these guys are a range of different heights. They're at a body fat percentage that maximizes their facial aesthetics. They have good thick necks, upper traps to give that masculinity, and they have a good amount of muscle mass and just symmetry in general. Okay, are these guys bodybuilders? No, but they look damn good. Comment down below any other actor physiques that you think are sick. Maybe Chris Hemsworth would be a good one. So what I want you guys to understand when it comes to masculinity, attraction, things of that nature, things like your physique, money, height, all these things are analogous to just being a provider. So why do women like tall men on average? They feel protected, they feel safe, they feel like they have a provider. Same thing with a girl who's into like a jack guy. It's just a marker. It's like, oh, this guy can protect me, this guy can provide for me, he's physically competent. That's why oftentimes you see the girls going for the rich dude with the nice car and the nice house and the good job, because in modern society that's what a provider is. It's not about how strong you are, it's about your wit, your intelligence, how you're able to make money. Although they might be physically incompetent, that is superseded by modern society and the fact that we're not out there like fending for our lives or anything. Yeah, and so that's why oftentimes women are going for the richer guys, because in modern society, I mean, you don't need to be as physically competent. And so if you were to go on a hierarchy of like the top 5 things, physique is somewhere here, money is like somewhere here, but we want it all, guys. We want to be rich and we want to be jacked. We want everything. And for a lot of you guys, having a good good physique can enhance you and allow you to earn more. Why? Because people respect you more. That's why, once again, beating a dead horse here, but being attractive, having a more aesthetic physique will allow you to achieve more in your everyday life, afford you more opportunities, etc. And in addition, I spoke on how, your physique will have people treat you better, treat you differently, give you more respect. That in and of itself is very attractive to women. If you walk into a room and all men respect you and fear you a little bit, that is like one of the most attractive things to a woman. Even if she doesn't find you as physically attractive, she's gonna look at it and be like, holy shit, like what does he have? Why are all these men fucking afraid of it? Why do they all respect him? And so it's one of those things where it's like, it's not even necessarily like the physique, it's what the physique represents downstream allows you to pull more girls because you have the approval of other men. It's a very powerful psychological concept. You can research it if you like. All right, so yeah, to summarize, working out for aesthetics, building a more beautiful body will 10x your results with women, will 10x your results in real life. You gotta work on building those golden ratios, getting down to the proper body fat percentage, building up your neck and traps to create facial masculinity, and understand that the physique that you have will not only hold you in good stead for how you physically appear. Once people realize people are treating you differently, they will in turn be more attracted to you. It's like compound interest, baby. Just keeps growing. If you don't know where to start on how to work out, I have a website with programs which you can purchase to support me. But there's many other resources for free on the internet that can get you started. So that's just if you want to fast track you real quick, just let me just buy a program. I'll build some muscle real quick. But if you don't want to pay, it's no big deal. Just supports me, allows me to create that content. And yeah, that pretty much covers it. Pretty simple. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. Appreciate y'all. Subscribe for more and be dropping that value.